fam, welcome back. Today, I have got something interesting and in detailed bundle of information for you. Hope you have heard about code review. If not, that's okay. I'm going to cover from scratch. If you're already familiar with code review, have you ever wondered how does the code review helps us? Like what are some of the best practices that you need to follow? Well, today we are about to uncover all of them. And trust me, you won't want to miss this, and it will be a game changer for your development journey. When I started as a developer, I was pretty good with writing clean code and following some best practices as it is in the documentation which is provided in the frameworks. But I still got two comments from my senior for my PR that I have raised. One is to remove the console log, and one more is to remove the white space which was there in the CSS file. So which I accidentally missed to remove them before committing and creating the PR. I was a little annoyed, like after receiving that comment or the feedback in the PR, because I thought like, why was it really necessary to add these, small things in the comments? I was really annoyed. But after I raised my second PR, so the second PR was more of a logic and feature functionality related. And there I started receiving the better logic suggestions, and I was really amused, right? Oh, really? This can be done in other way around. And I got to learn, okay, one more way to, do this problem solving. And by then, my thought about code review changed completely. And I started enjoying going through others' code and giving suggestion, even though I wasn't a code reviewer by then. I still wanted to, see the others' PR, what they have written, like how they have solved their specific problem. And I learned a lot from seeing others' code. And gradually, I started becoming a domain expert. And I thought to put my learnings, it's what inspired today's video, and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's get started. So what to expect from this video? So we're gonna cover why code review and how to make most of it, and what are the best practices for conducting code reviews. And when we say code review, it involves two types of people. One is a developer who's gonna submit the pull request, and one more is a person who reviews the code. Like it might be one person or many. So it is a code reviewer or code reviewers. So like we're gonna cover as a developer, how do I raise PR and get it merged? Like what are the best practices that involved, and what are the guidelines that as a developer needs to focus on? And as a code reviewer, how do I review the code effectively? And what are the checklists that I need to see? Like what are the things I need to observe in the pull request, and what are the best practices that I need to follow and ask the team to follow? Right? All these we're going to discuss. And last but not the least, we're going to discuss some small impactful improvements that can elevate your day-to-day development experiences. Let's get started. Firstly, what is code review? Code review is an integral part of DevOps cycle. So as it helps ensure the code is as clean as possible from the first step of the development pipeline. And in fact, it is one of the tests every developer should run before pushing their code to the main branch. So code review is a way of peer review of the code before formal testing begins. Let's understand what are some of the benefits that involved in code review. First thing, why it is required? What is the purpose of this? So firstly, it is useful in many ways, such as finding the bugs at the early stages. By the way, this aren't just about finding bugs. They are an opportunity to share knowledge, maintain coding standards, and improve overall quality of the code base. It helps identify some common defects across the team So thus it will reduce some rework in later time. Let's say also have another advantage for this. Let's say one of your team member is not available. So what you do, his task is incomplete, like it is halfway done. So if you want to take it over, you should know what he did, right? So by doing the code review, you'll be checking into their way of working, whatever that they have done. So you'll be able to understand what exactly he's trying to write and what are his pending tasks that has to be completed. So this makes this will help in interchangeability of the team members in case if anyone is not available. So by doing frequent small code reviews, so this will be far more effective than doing a code review all at once. So aim for timely feedback to keep the development cycles agile. So since we most of the time we work in an agile environment, it is also as good as checking into the code, like giving the feedback and improvising them now and then. And it helps due to this it helps to maintain the level of consistency in the design and the implementation the team is doing. Next we have is it defines clear objectives across the team. So defining specific goals for each code review, so whether it's ensuring or whether the code is up to the coding standards or not, identifying the potential bugs or improving the overall code design. So all these things, the team gets used to it, and everyone will be working across the defined similar goals. So that's why it is kind of helpful if you follow this code review practice. Next, how many times you get in touch with your teammates about project discussion, especially like if you are working remotely, it's hard to make people just to attend the meetings itself. So you have to call them many times just to attend the meetings. If this is the case, then how come you, drag them to get discussion, to get discuss about the solution? Basically, it's hard, right? So if this gonna be hard, is it a good solution to ask them to come to the office? No, that is not an ideal solution. But code review can help a bit in this, since it creates a positive and collaborative atmosphere. It helps team work together to ensure high quality code is delivered. Remember, code reviews are about improving the code, not criticizing the developer. It also helps in building confidence for stakeholders about technical quality, whatever that you guys are writing. Yeah, so far we have discussed about the benefits that code review brings to us. Next, we'll discuss as a developer. So, how to raise a PR, what are its best practices, and few of the guidelines that as a developer needs to follow. Okay, so as a developer, before you raise a PR, PR is nothing but a pull request. We have to make sure the code is working fine, because don't make a code reviewer as a tester uh, to check into your code and to see whether it is working or not by running it locally. No, it is not their job. So it is your job to make it work properly, and it's your responsibility to get the PR merged. So whenever you raise a PR, it is not like, okay, I have raised a PR, I'm done. No, you have to follow up with the respective code reviewer. So you have to check if you have got any feedbacks on the PR that you have raised. And if there are any feedbacks, you have to fix it and you have to ask them again to review it. Once the PR has been raised, usually what I do is like I just put a message in a channel saying, tagging respective reviewers to check the PR that have raised. And I also mention like what on what topic this PR is about. code submission guidelines as a developer that you have to focus on. Whenever you raise a PR, so that should be about one thing. What that means. So whenever you create a branch and make some changes and you are about to create a PR, like if you are doing multiple things in one PR, it is hard to review. Like let's say developing a new feature in that, you also fixing some of the bugs in that. Like that doesn't make sense. So it should be about one thing. Like whenever the code reviewer sees, they should not be thinking, make sure to add the details by adding the proper title and the proper description. So when I say description, it's about you can just link to your task. You can add the link to your task, whether it's a Jira task or a Trello board, card, link, whatever it is. You can just link those. You can say, okay, this PR is about this specific task. And along with this, if you need to add some description, so you can just add it, feel free to add it in a text. And you can add some screenshots or like working screenshots and recordings of that specific functionality or a bug fix, right? So this will be kind of very helpful for them while they review. So they can be pretty much comfortable like, okay, these are the things that are being completed, and they can solely focus on your code instead of thinking and digging what exactly it has been done. Responding to feedback like a pro. Definitely, like you will be getting some of the feedback. Sometimes you may not, but if you get a feedback, so try to respond to every comment that you get. Be grateful for the reviewer's suggestion because good call, I'll make that change. So be aware of how hard it is to convey the emotions online and how easy it is to misinterpret the feedback, right? So if a reviewer seems aggressive or angry or otherwise personal, consider if it is intended to be read that way and ask the person for clarification for intent in person if possible. So sometimes whatever the messages that you see, sometimes they might be kind of aggressive. You might read it in another way or something. So it's better to ask for clarification and just ask like, can you just give me some clarification for this, please? So they'll be happy to explain like why that commit has been like why that comment has been given and how you can improvise them as well. And you can link to any follow-up commits or a pull requests like for that specific commit. So if you have already addressed in some other request, you can just give the references for that. Okay, ask instead of assuming. Next thing is, okay, so whenever you fix the feedback that you are given, so usually what you do is, okay, so and so fix are been done, git add, git commit, uh, write the message, -m, write the message, and git push. This is what you're gonna do. But what this will happen is it will create a new commit again. So whenever they want to review the changes, that will not be reflected in the same, where they have added the commit. So that will be added in a new commit, correct? So please make sure you amend the commit, previous commit, whatever that you have done, instead of creating the new one. How you can do this? Whenever like once you complete the feedback fixes, you can just do git add, git commit, minus amend. What it will do is it will open up uh, the command in the command prompt. So there you can just edit the commit message and you can just exit the window and you can just push the changes, right? So by this, whatever the change, fixes that you have done, so that will be appropriately shown and no new commits will be added. So it will be helpful for code reviewers also to exactly check where exactly they have added the comments and that has been successfully fixed. Let's see who can be the code reviewer, like who should be the code reviewers basically. So Code reviewers can be from any team or a group as long as they are domain expert. Okay, what do you mean by domain expert? So he's an individual with extensive knowledge or skills in specific area or industry, right? If the lines of code cover more than one domain, two experts, two or more experts should review the code. So that's why you'll be coming across multiple code reviewers or code owners in the list. Okay. Let's understand as a code reviewer how you can conduct an effective code reviews. First and foremost thing is understand the context of pull request, what that means. So sometimes whenever the PR has been raised, big code refactoring that have been done, or it might be a new feature, or sometimes it's just a bug fix. So we have to understand what situations the team is and how to deal with those. Like let's say ideal situation is the PR has been raised by the developer, check the code, you'll give the feedback gets fixed, and you will approve the PR. So this is the kind of ideal situation. So sometimes what happens, few PRs needs to be merged urgently. And sometimes it might like you might be under the pressure to ship that specific feature or a bug as soon as possible, so that code might not be perfect. What should you do in that case? That's okay, but make sure you create a task as a technical dev and make sure you attend it later and don't miss out this so that it will be harmful for the code base. So just make sure you add a technical dev, right? Next, review. You should check for open or updated PR at least once a day. This mandatory being a reviewer. So it's better to check at least once a day. So I usually do twice a day. And if there are any quick PRs to be merged, so I'll attend them at the priority, right? So how I do is like before I start my day, so I'll just once check if there are any open or updated PRs. So I'll review them and I'll give my feedback and I'll just continue with my day-to-day work. And prior to closing my working day, prior to 3 hours, I'll again check if there are any open or updated PRs so that the developers can get ample amount of time to fix those feedbacks and come back to me if there are any questions. So that's how I do the timely review. Let me know in the comments below how you make up the time. As a reviewer, when you add a comment, right, you phrase it in a way like you are asking something instead of don't tell. Let's say, what do you think about trying this kind of solution? Rather than saying, don't do this shit. This is not right way of saying. What do you think if we try doing this kind of solution? That will be kind of polite, right? Offer ways, how you can address that specific problem. Like you can give them a hints or a solution to simplify or improve the code. Don't consider your personal feelings. Instead of that, you go with a project coding style guideline. And if you strongly believe like this has to be changed, if you disagree strongly, consider giving it a few minutes before responding. Ways think before you react. Discussions are turning too theoretical or touching the big architectural questions. It's better to move the discussion offline. So in the meantime, let the author make the final decision or on the implementation part, alternative implementations part. Major decisions are taken, it's better to take that offline. And once everything got resolved, you can just merge it into your code base. So these are some of the tips for as a code reviewer. Next, like when you're reviewing the code, what basis you need to review? So is there any checklist? Yes, for link in the comment and the description of this video. Please do check it and feel free to add. There are any missed points, please feel free to add there. Right? And fine, there is no perfect code. And we should always accept that many programming decisions that are made are just the opinions. whenever we get into the conflicts to convey something, it's better to discuss the trade-offs between solution A, solution B, solution C. So which one is kind of better, or like what are the pros and the cons which you prefer, and reach a resolution quickly instead of having multiple wars in the comment section. Don't do that. So just discuss the trade-offs. Let it be to the point, be humble and say, and get the resolution quickly as possible. Just think working on a same goal of keeping the code base clean. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. So, by fostering this culture of continuous improvement through effective code reviews and small and consistent enhancement, so you will witness a greater transformation in your development process. Thank you so much, and please do subscribe for the channel if you are not done.